Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, it's been about a year or so since we've had Bob in studio with us, but back after COVID and a bunch of other stuff, Bob Lavrakas is back with us. Morning, Bob. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Everything. I'm glad to see you're back with us here and looking pretty good.
Thanks, Mike. Sure to appreciate you giving me the time to come and speak about a very vital ministry in town.
Yeah, absolutely. For folks that aren't familiar with Bob, you've been, how long have you been part of Roswell Community now? It's been
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years now. And Bob, of course, with family and things, but Bob likes to raise awareness and kind of talk to people about, spiritual life and things. I know one thing that you see Bob, not so much recently, but out in the public, talking about abortion and the pitfalls of that and things like that. And so that's kind of your mission, is to kind of warn people and educate people, about God, but warn people about really the consequences of not following the path of God.
Right.
Too.
Well, God is a loving God.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. Many, many other people do.
Sure.
He is loving, but he is also a just judge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And here's the part that I love about it is we live our lives, we do our things. Sometimes we do things that are part of God's plan. Other times we slip from those paths and things. But the beauty of it is God always lets you back in. And that's no matter how far we stray, how far we screw up.
Yeah.
God always welcomes you back with open arms if you let him.
Yeah.
And
that's where his mercy steps in. He's a God of not of the first, second, or third chance, but of the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh.
Yeah. And you've experienced things that are pretty bleak in your life. I think all of us have had a moment or something in our life where you're like, am I going to come back from this or whatever? And unfortunately, humanity, that's, in our darkest times, that's when we seek God's help, and that's nothing wrong with that. But I want to remind folks that, turn to God when you don't need his help too,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
and that's, God is not just there to bail you out in a pinch. And you know what I mean? And I feel we as humanity sometimes look at that as a crutch. And I'm like, no, that's not a relationship with God. That's hey, I'm going to live my life and God bail me out now. No, that's not how to live. That's not a godly life either. So,
right.
Sorry, I don't mean to take over. I just
go right ahead. Go right ahead, preacher. You're doing great.
I just when I get into conversations, I feel the need to chime in.
Right on, Pastor. Well, Mike, this ministry, the Jireh ministry, was started 30 years ago.
Okay.
By a multitude of women from First Baptist Church.
Okay.
They saw a spiritual need along with a physical need in the homeless of Roswell.
Okay.
And they acted upon this need. People might ask, where did you get the name
Jireh?
There are 7 redemptive names of God in the Bible. I'll just share 4. Jehovah Nissi, the Lord my refuge.
Okay.
Jehovah Sidkenu, the Lord who is our righteousness. Jehovah Shalom, the Lord is peace. And Jehovah Jireh, the Lord will provide.
Got you. That's I knew it was God will provide was kind of the message behind Jireh there. I didn't know exactly how that fit, but now when you're talking about the Jehovah and the different, it's kind of the different sects. I don't know if that's the right term either, but responsibilities of these various terms.
Yeah.
I would say.
Our vision is to continue this vital ministry to the homeless and less fortunate of Roswell. We seek not perfection, because our perfection is Jesus Christ.
Sure.
What we seek is excellence in the treatment and provision of these image bearers of God.
Sure.
Our need, especially this time of year, is taxing on the homeless. At times, snow, wind, rain, and cold,
Sure.
which is always present, brings challenges. we have a need for warm hats, jackets, thermals, gloves, and socks.
Gotcha.
Sleeping bags and blankets.
Gotcha.
In the wintertime, we see 15 to 20 people each Tuesday. On the average, we give away 15 jackets every Tuesday, and these numbers multiply by 4 each month. We changed a policy that used to be 1 visit per month to 1 visit every Tuesday.
Because the need's that great.
The need is that great.
Sure. And I'm sure there's probably folks that are coming to see you, and they may come get a jacket every week, but they're taking that jacket to one of their friends that isn't willing to come. You know what I mean? They're taking it and they're giving it back to their communities that they've established there in the homeless world.
If someone says, I want to get a jacket for someone, we're not going to put them through an FBI test.
Yeah.
You know,
but they're not. You can tell by their appearance and things. They're not making out on anything here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And the thing is that unfortunately in the homeless world society, theft. There are people that come back, and I believe them.
Absolutely.
I have no reason not to. But they say, Bob,
someone stole my jacket.
Someone stole my jacket. Someone stole this. Someone stole that.
Sure.
So
there's a lot of mental health running rampant through those same circles. That's unfortunately people that are homeless. It's not because they don't have the means to take care of themselves. They've lost the desire to be a part of society for whatever reason that is.
Yeah.
They fell from God's grace. I think. I really think that's part of where God, in some of these cases, maybe feel God has abandoned them and they're done with it.
Yeah.
And so, part of you got to kill them with kindness and remind them what God's love really is, and because right now they don't believe it. You know what I mean? And because of the scenarios and the situations they're put in, you got to crack through that nut first before you get them to maybe come back into the fold.
Right. And you're spot on, Mike, is the homeless are very intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
And they know when someone is trying to manipulate, or they say something that is coming from someone that might be a hypocrite.
Sure.
They'll pick that out in a second, and they have the right to say, leave me alone.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, you're here for different reasons. Yeah, you're right.
Just to continue about Jireh, we do not judge anyone by or turn anyone away regardless of gender, nationality, race, or religion.
If they're a human being and need help, you're willing to sit down and help them.
Right on.
There you go.
Our reason is to serve. Matthew 25:23 says, his Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant, not volunteer, not worker, but servant.
Yeah.
You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. And Matthew 20:28 says, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Just think.
Mm-hmm.
Very God of heaven, Jesus Christ, stepped down from his glory, the glory of heaven. Angels, millions of angels praising him.
Yeah.
And he created the earth perfectly. Adam and Eve messed it up. And Jesus could have stayed in heaven and said, no, I'm not coming down there. I'm not coming down to that mess.
I'm good, yeah.
But he came down for 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I and my Father are one. And he served. He did not come to be served.
Mm-hmm.
To think the God of heaven wants to serve us.
Yep. And that's why we spend our lives serving him.
Right.
Yeah.
We at Jireh are inviting all people of Roswell to the opportunity to join us and experience the blessing to the Lord and to the homeless. We offer all clothing free of charge.
Okay.
And none of the servants at Jireh receive financial compensation.
They do it all for the kindness of serving God, basically.
The thing is, Mike, is I can't live this Christian life on my own. I can't. It's impossible.
Sure.
That's why I need the Holy Spirit. That's why I need the Lord Jesus Christ and his mercy. Then I can do it from a standpoint of not working to get me to heaven, but because I am saved, I serve.
Sure.
And the thing is I'll say this, Mike. Before I became a Christian, I used to drive down the street in big cities, and I'd look at the homeless, and I'd say, "Thank you, Lord, that I'm not like them."
Sure. Look at them.
And
I'm lucky I'm not those people.
Yeah. And I would snub my nose at them and just thought, and then November 8th, 1982, I met the risen Christ. Changed my mind, changed my heart. And now it is a joy and a pleasure to serve my Lord in serving the homeless. It's more than just, when we have Gyra, which is Tuesdays from 1 to 3 in the Moore building at First Baptist. First thing we say is, we love you, we care for you, we're not here to judge you. Because people say, well, Bob, how do you know that you're not judging? Well, if I was living by my old sin nature, I would see people come in the door and I'd tell them to leave. And that's a judgment. Or and that's not right.
Or saying you deserve or you don't deserve.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I've not walked in those shoes. I'm not the one who has the ability to say whether you deserve or not deserve something. Right. That's God's. I'm here to serve God, and I'm going to take care of God's creatures in the best way that I can. And then God is the one who decides who's worthy and who's not worthy.
Right.
And that's how it works,
All we're being is obedient.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
And there can be times where might question someone, in my mind, leaving with 3 or 4 jeans. Well, that's between them and God.
Sure.
I'm just being obedient and letting, figuring this person needs those.
Sure.
And that's between him or her and God.
Well, and to be honest, when we serve God and what makes you, the individual, feel better when you're serving God is you got to take the judgment out of it. You got to just say, I'm here as a vessel to try to help other people. How they got in that situation, why they're in that situation, where they're going after that situation, is not up to my power. That's not my power. My power is I have this person in front of me right now. They need help. Mm-hmm. What can I do to help them?
Right.
And hope and pray that your help and your guidance maybe shines a little light or rubs a little off on this person to pay that forward and to maybe see God's plan in that act of kindness you're doing for that person. And some days you're going to get the payout. Some days it's not going to happen. But that's life. Some people find God their own way. Some don't find it at all. But you can lead the horse to water, so to speak, and you're doing that by just being kind and helping a person in need. Right. And hopefully that message comes in. It's like, I'm here by myself. I'm homeless. I'm shutting myself off for society for whatever reasons. But odds are pretty good they've fallen off the path some way, shape, or form. Right. And anytime you're giving them blankets or providing a place for them to stay or giving them some kind of comfort, you're slowly chipping away at those walls and things that person has built up to protect themselves, that they've replaced God with this wall. And you're helping to chip that away, and hopefully some of God's light shines through that place you're chipping through and starts breaking away more of it. And you don't get to determine whether that happens or not.
Correct.
That's up to that individual and their decision with God. All you can do is help show them the way and hope they take it. And if they don't, you've done everything in your power to say, I tried to keep God's creature on the path here, or put them back on the path. Right. I will continue to help them every day, but until they make that decision themselves, all you can do is love and support until that happens. And then in essence, that's what you guys are doing, is just trying to find love and support for these folks, and hopefully they find a way to come back into God's fold here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Mike, the thing is we people ask me all the time, why are you doing this? Why are you giving these people a handout? Why this? Why that? Well, the bottom line is that again, we're talking about God's in control here.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot judge their heart.
Absolutely.
God judges the heart. I do not know where that person is. Yes, I'll talk to them where their relationship with the Lord is,
Sure.
or what's going on in their life. I don't know if they're really trying to get work or to try to not better themselves, but
Sure.
but
They're trying to take advantage of opportunities, whether it's in nefarious to live or if it's some, it's not for you to judge that.
yeah, and
Your judge is to help them, and God takes care of what they do with that help and
Right.
how they respond to that help.
yeah,
You know,
because you see the thing is I'm glad no one when I was a wretched man before I came to Christ, I'm glad no one judged me. I'm glad that no one said, Bob, God helps those who helps himself.
Sure.
Number one, that's not in the Bible. Number two, that's not true. The truth is, for God commended his love toward us, and while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us.
Yeah.
There is nothing I could do to clean myself up. And the same thing with the homeless. While they're in this position, what do we do for them?
Sure. Their experiences, their things traumatic things that happen in their life to put them in that scenario, and that's what we talk about when we're judging. If you walked the exact same path that person did, who's to say you're not in the same shoes that person is? And that's why we don't judge, because we don't come from the same place. We don't start off in the same place in this world. We end up in the same place, but we don't start off. Some people start in a better position than others, and that's life. That's how but how you deal with the cards you're dealt, and that's that relationship with God, and you may got a better set of cards than that person dealt with. So it's not fair for you to judge, where they're at and how they're at. That's God's job. Our job is to be godly to each other. Help that person, give that person what they need and want for there, and hopefully through example, you start rubbing off on that person and saying, you know what? Why is this person being nice to me? I've done nothing to them to warrant this kind of act of kindness. Maybe there's something more to this. Maybe I should look into that. And that's, at the end of the day, by helping people, you hope what happened is you hope that they say, why is this person being nice to me for no reason? Maybe I should ask some questions and explore that.
Right on.
And then you're like, yay, I got a foot in the door. And we're gonna get someone on the path here. But till that decision's made by the person on the other end, all we can do is keep loving. And that's what you guys are doing. Yeah.
Can I may I give the church church's address?
Absolutely. Address,
phone number,
websites, Facebook, anything we can to get people to get in touch with you guys.
Phone number for the secretary at First Baptist Church is 575.
You don't remember the rest?
No, I do.
Okay.
It's written out. I'm just waiting for that person to
write
get
it down.
A piece of paper.
Gotcha.
And 575-623 2640. Or you can bring your donations to First Baptist Church, 500 North Pennsylvania Avenue in Roswell.
Yeah.
The office is accessed by the west side of the building.
Okay, just a couple blocks up the street from where
Yes,
we're
sir.
at here downtown here.
Yeah.
And of course, I know they also have a Facebook page and everything as well. Through you can reach out through there, and they'll be happy to put you in touch with the right people you need to go to too. So if you have desire, and of course, come on down to the church, walk through the doors there, and they got a lot of great stuff going on at that church. So if you don't hit the right thing, because I know American Legion shares and stuff there, youth, of course, scouting. They've got a lot of different organizations that call that church home.
Yeah. And if you'd like to just come by on Tuesdays, The basement of the Moore Building, one on Tuesdays, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Very good.
If
Come
you'd
on
like,
down.
if you'd like to come and serve,
Yeah.
we will not turn you away.
Looking for ways to get involved, or an opportunity, or resource to gather items and things. I know there's a lot of great organizations that work work with folks in our community from homeless and things. And I know you guys probably partner with them when you can on some of these events and things. So that's we have a great community of volunteers that get involved, and we're always looking for more.
Yeah.
So.
May I give a shout out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Harvest Ministry,
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Mark Green,
Does amazing work.
his full-time, part-time employees, and the servants that serve there. I've been blessed. I've been given such a wonderful opportunity when I can to serve there. Amazing work.
Absolutely.
Just amazing work.
You want to talk about people that are just doing the Lord's work? We'll walk over to Harvest Ministries and go to. I'm through the Homeless Coalition, which is different, but kind of part of Harvest Ministries work. It's a separate entity, but it came from the fires of Harvest Ministry.
Yeah.
That great organization is kind of an offshoot of what goes on at Harvest Ministries there, and sounds like a lot what goes on at the church as well. We've got and it is weird. I don't know why or explain it, but we have a large number of homeless people that call Roswell home. How that happened, I couldn't answer that question. I don't know. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know. But we have a large percentage, and we've got a lot of great people that try to minister to and help to that community as much as possible. Some want to come out of it, some don't. That's just the nature of that thing. But if we kill them with kindness, and I keep saying that, and I don't want to say it, don't take it what I mean, but in essence, keep showing love, keep showing that we love and care. Eventually, that's going to sink home, and they're going to say, you know what, maybe I'm wrong about people and things. Let me get my path back on here. And sometimes it takes a lot of browbeating. Sometimes it doesn't. It's human beings. Sometimes we're stubborn as mules. Others we're a little more receptive to it. It's just how we are.
Yeah.
That's so. Please come on out Tuesdays and come First Baptist Church. Give out that phone number one more time if you don't mind, Bob. That way they can write it down, or like you said, if you look on their Facebook page, First Baptist Church, there you'll find links to everything too.
The number again is 575-623-2640.
Very good. 623-2640. 575-623-2640 is that number to call. And of course, come on out on Tuesdays from 1 to 3.
Yes, sir.
And that's at the Moore?
The Moore Building.
The Moore Building.
Yes.
Very good. Awesome. Is there anything we missed, Bob, that we wanted to share?
The thing is, Mike, is you're talking about some people don't want to come out of homelessness.
Yeah.
It's just like some people don't want to come out. Some people don't want to stop being liars.
Sure. Or
thieves,
dependent on drugs or
drug abusers.
They found their comfortable niche and they're living it,
Blasphemers, people that covet. That's why Jesus came. He came to change your heart, and he's our only hope.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He is our only hope.
And the good news is you can turn it around anytime. There is never too late a chance. I don't care how deep a hole you've dug yourself in. I don't care if you're on your deathbed. If you're on your deathbed and you're ready to talk, reach out.
The thief on the cross.
Yeah, exactly.
He never had a chance to get down off the cross and do good works or be baptized, or he trusted in that man that was dying on the cross for him, Jesus Christ.
All you got to do is accept and willing and accept it. That's it. That's all. That's the only requirement. That is it. That's it. You just got to accept, have faith, and you'll be shown. And I believe that in my heart. Am I an expert in the Bible? Or not even close. There's lots of parts that I don't know, and I don't. You start getting into some of the names and terms, and my eyes get glassy-eyed as can be. But I have faith, and I know that I may not know all the details, but I know God has a plan, and I'm part of it, and I'm going to keep serving in my life as best I can. And at the end of the day, it's all going to work out.
Yeah. And what you had to say about knowing, how can we understand an infinite God?
Mm-hmm.
How can our 3-pound brains understand everything?
Yeah.
But what he does let us understand, we take that and we run with it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you try to live in that path. And I guarantee if you do, regardless of what happens, you're going to be okay. Yeah. Regardless of what obstacles get thrown in your path, regardless of moments in life that seem insurmountable, you'll be okay. You will get, this too shall pass, and you will be fine. Bob, as always, appreciate the visit. Well, I'd love to get you back in now that you've been battling and getting healthy again here. We'd love to bring you in some more and keep especially this great organization, keep that on the forefront of people's brains. And
yes, sir.
And as I've been saying, we're at a time of year where it's the beginning of the year and people talk about New Year's resolutions and things. And now that we're a good week and 2 weeks into the new year, people have already blown those and forgot about their losing weight or whatever they're going to do. I'd say the one thing that you can keep doing is get involved. Go and help other people. Get involved. Maybe it's through Christ. Maybe it's going to take you a minute to get through Christ. But find a passion. Find something, whether it's animals, whether it's children, whether it's domestic violence, whatever your passion is, find a way to help those organizations and find a way to make a difference. It's going to make our community a much better place.
Yeah.
If everyone just picked we got 50,000 people here. If we got one, each of them, we'll say half, because we'll say there's a bunch of kids, but if 25,000 people picked their one organization that they're passionate about and volunteered or donated or did things, you know how much better our community would be? And that's Christ's message too. It's the same one. You just don't realize it part of it is. But once you start going down that path, you're going to find out, oh, you know what? I'm living like Christ and realizing that's what it is and didn't even realize that's what Christ is about. And I don't care if you got to learn the long way or the short way. Doesn't matter. As long as you learn it and you take that path and you get there. So find a way to get on that path.
Yes, sir.
So, well, Bob, as always, God bless you and your family, and look forward to another visit here down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
All right. Take care. And hopefully 2022 brings you a much healthier year this year.
Thanks, Mike.
Anytime. It is 8:47.